Now I've got the needle, and I can't shake it, but I can't breathe. Take it away, and I want more and more. One day, I'm going to lose the war. That is a quote from one of the most inspirational people of my generation. That is, of course, Mr. Bradley Nowell, lead singer and guitarist of Sublime. This week is the top 10 facts about Bradley Nowell and Sublime. Oh, welcome to another episode of the Twisted 10.
What up, gentlemen?
Hello, hello.
What's a-happening? Welcome into the studio again. Oh, by the way, Ron, shave your balls.
Shave my balls?
Yeah,
Shave your balls.
Was that a message? Was this a message that my wife gave you on and slid into your DMs to say, please tell my husband to shave his balls?
Your wife slides into my DM more than you think.
But I'm sure it's all to talk shit about me.
That's mostly nudes. But the point is...
Sweet. I've never actually physically seen nudes of my wife. Can I?
I'm just kidding, Jackie. I love you. I'm sorry.
Can you send me some?
This started off on the wrong rail really quickly. No, so fucking really cool news. Before we even get into this, by using promo code TWISTED10, you can now save 20% off what, Josh?
At manscaped.com. They're our new sponsor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We officially, we have an applause button in here? Someone see, is this it?
Yeah,
who gave Adam the sound
Black and Mild? Yeah, that was not. That will be when we get a Black and Mild sponsorship.
Let me hit it again.
Would you like a Black and Mild?
Right, I had to redeem the would you like a Black and Mild.
Yeah.
So super stoked about that. So it's our first official national sponsor, like no shit, real. Not to say that the sponsors that we had in the past on the Twisted 10 weren't, anything that was great because they were supported the show, that, they took care of us really nicely. However, this is our first national sponsor.
This is our first national sponsor. And yeah, just thank you. The Salty Fox, Village Idiot. We had a little bit of support from Bug Nutty, just doing some love to the old sponsors. But yeah, this is our first national big sponsor.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. And I'm already a client of theirs. Before, it even happened, I've already purchased some of the Manscaped products upstairs. I don't use them myself, really, but,
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Andrea finally sewed up. I had a pair of jeans, and I wondered how long that Josh and Ron here in studio have been staring at my balls, but
that's how
big rip
we
right
know.
Is that a brain? No, so yeah, we're super stoked. Manscaped has given us the go ahead and are considering coming on board. I mean, this isn't an inked deal or anything, so if you're a fan of the show, possibly a council member especially, or just a listener, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code TWISTED10 and you get 20% off anything you buy.
Your wife and your balls will thank you.
That's true. Yeah, it's
yeah.
And so Adam mentioned there it's not an inked deal yet. And what that really means is that we're on a sort of probationary period with Manscaped. We have met their criteria, we're the right topic, we've got the right demographic, but now we have to kind of, prove it.
Yeah. And that's a normal formula for them too. It's not, they didn't say, oh, all right. So, for Rogan, we're going to, give him he's going to get the goods right away.
I'll be honest with you. I'll bet Rogan didn't have to prove it.
No, I guess that's a good point. Yeah,
that might be a bad example.
That's a good point. The boys over at Hysteria 51 had to do the same thing we did because they've used Manscaped as a sponsor as well, which they do right now. Theirs are on a rotation. It's a little bit different than what you'll hear it on here on our shows. But by the way, so for our listeners, a lot of listeners that listen to us also listen to other podcasts, and the 15, you hit that button for 3 or 4 times, 15 will get you ahead of the ads. You may want to listen to our ads because it's going to be us having some fun on behalf of our sponsor, maybe skip bidding a little bit or doing something, to where it's going to be a unique ad. You're not just going to have to listen
top 10 reasons to shave your balls.
Yeah, I almost did that. By the way, tonight's my list. I almost did a
read like a David Letterman quick hit. Not like an entire episode. I don't know if I want to hear about shaving balls for an hour and a half. I mean, no offense to our new sponsor, but that might just be a bit of ball shaving overkill.
And the reason is because it takes Ron an hour and a half to shave his own balls, so he doesn't want that.
It takes me an hour and a half just to find them first through the bushwhack.
Well, thanks to our new sponsor, you won't have that problem anymore, Ron.
Yeah, I hope there's some kind of guard on it, so I don't
Get that going good tonight.
so I don't have to cut my balls this time.
There is a guard, in fact. They have
that's-
guards from the typical levels of 1 to 4.
If you're getting a vasectomy, you have to shave them things. So
That's okay.
you'll start with the Manscaped, and then you'll go with like the straight, like the Bic, and shave. So mine was like a baby.
All right, I have one more balls story, and then we'll stop talking about balls. The nurse, I guess, whatever, the lady I met with after the doctor came in, said, "Yep, you're a good candidate." He left. Lady came back in. Yeah, for a vasectomy. Sorry. She came back in.
Penis enlargement, Ron. That's what he was going with.
I needed it.
Lucky him.
Bad. But so the doctor came in, whatever. I got my exam. He said, "You're good to go." And then the nurse came in later. She got paperwork. You know everything you do. You know how to prep yourself, what your cleanup is. And I said, yeah. She's like, all right, cool. And she told me where to shave, but she told me the wrong spot. I know. Yeah, she told me.
There's not many spots down there. I mean,
she told me to shave underneath, and they did not go.
Your taint, you mean?
Yes, 100%. I mean, like not that far down, obviously my balls, but yeah, she
so you shaved like the bottom of the sack where it touches the taint.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
It was so chafy.
Oh, geez. I shaved it all, like everything, man.
Keep going.
All right.
That's like an instant penis enlargement when you shave all the hair off.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. Legitimately.
All right. I'm going to smash cut away from dicks.
Yeah, good call.
So before Adam takes it away with his list, just a big thanks to Twisted Council for the support of the show. You guys are awesome.
Hear ye, council members everywhere. Thank you for your patronage. Is that over the top?
Why do we let the worst accent person on this show do the fucking accents?
Good day. Hear ye. Oh, sacre bleu. Because I'm the only one that tries. Come on, throw it out there, Ron. Give me a hear ye,
That's
hear
true.
ye.
Yeah, you had a pretty good British accent when I wasn't
I
here.
know, but I don't know if I'm good with the hear ye, hear you. You actually may not be too far off. Adam.
All right.
Whatever.
Give it a shot. It was good.
Thank you, patrons. Council members. Thank you very much.
So you guys are awesome. Appreciate that. And for those of you hanging out in Discord on the live stream, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoy. We'll talk to you guys on the break. But if you want info about the council and their special show that they get and the Discord, how to get on the live stream, just go to twisted10.com. It's got all the links and info and stuff. You can go from there.
Sweet. We got to get a promo section or a sponsor section set up in twisted10.com too now.
That's true. What if I told you it's already there, just not published?
Is it going to be like a button? And will the button, instead of words, just be a pair of shaved balls?
No, they're unshaved until you mouse over them, and then they
shave.
shaved.
You could like shave them with a mouse.
Josh, you have a task for the website management side of it. All right,
got it. Let me dip into the slush fund.
And I'm just going to tell Manscaped real quick. I've heard a shit ton of podcasts that have me, because I listen to sports podcasts.
And why did they pick us? Is that where you're going?
No. I'm going to say that just this impromptu, completely, improved, I should say, spot we just did for them fucking crushes everyone I ever heard. So fuck all y'all. Manscaped,
that we're still doing for them.
Yeah, that we're still doing 10 minutes later. That I'm sure people would like shut the hell up.
But hey, balls! It fits our perfect audience. It's a perfect for our demographic. All right. Yes, it is my list, and I titled our live stream something specific. Josh, what did you read? What it was titled for our live stream?
I can't. I avoided it. I didn't read it.
No,
because,
it's okay.
Okay.
I titled it Adam's Nostalgia Hour.
Oh, cool.
All right, so this list is a very personal list to me. I've wanted to do this list because of its content since we began the Twisted 10, but I've seen that we've had a wide variety of shows, and then some that are very focused in a very specific area.
Very niche, yeah.
Yeah, very niche. And they do just as well. Niche shows bring us new listeners, so if it's very focused in a topic that somebody's interested in, they might not normally have listened, but like, oh, he's doing a show about basket weaving. I am way into basket weaving. Let me go listen. And then that grows our audience. And then we've done broad shows that cover lots of topics.
Shows about broads?
Shows about broad. Top 10 broads I did in 99. No. Tonight's show is very focused, is very niche. And I've said this a few times in some of our past recordings, is that when we do our Twisted 10, like Josh's list last week on top 10 mind-blowing facts, any one of those could have been expanded into its own Twisted 10. You could have had 10 facts about that particular number on the list. tonight is that. This particular list was a seed that was planted back in like show number 14 or 15.
Oh,
That's
the
awesome.
original.
The
stuff,
OG
yeah.
Twisted 10.
The OGTT.
It was that's what they call BR.
Before Ron.
Yes.
Yeah, this was definitely a BR show. I did a show on the most influential songs in my life, in my childhood, I guess you could say. But it had a wide variety of songs and artists. Most all of us had heard of them at the time, and
It wasn't that long ago, by the way. This was like 4 years ago.
No, but it was about my childhood. Anyway,
Oh, I see.
I guess my childhood and into my young adolescence and in adulthood, I guess that's what that show was
Where
about.
Ron came on the scene and took you to your first script club.
Damn right. You
and
did take me to my first strip
poisoned
club.
you forever.
Yeah, you did. 2-for-1s, though, dances.
2-for-1s dance. See,
Yeah, they had 2-for-1s there.
Of course, Adam got the 2-for-1s dances. I was double charged. That's how
No,
that
you
worked.
misunderstood.
Pay
This was the
2-for-1.
inner room, so it was 2-for-1s meant the girl was pregnant. So you got a 2-for-1.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
Oh, that place.
Top 10 jokes by Adam tonight. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so tonight's list, I'm going to read you a quote by this person first, and let's see if based on the quote, you can guess who this list is going to be about. So here's the quote. Now I've got the needle, and I can't shake, but I can't breathe. Take it away, and I want more and more. One day, I'm going to lose the war. Those are lyrics, by the way. So
Lyrics from a song?
Lyrics from
Can
a
you
song.
say them one more time?
Sure. Now I've got the needle, and I can't shake, but I can't breathe. Take it away, and I want more and more. One day I'm going to lose the war.
Amy Winehouse?
It's not a bad guess. She wasn't.
I don't know.
Based on that, I would say I'll tell you no, it's not her. But
Yeah,
based on
yeah.
that, it's needles. She was alcohol. Hers never got. I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, but she never got into the
I
the
don't know.
intravenous drugs.
I really didn't know. It was just the first one that popped into my head.
Yeah. Ozzy.
Not bad. Now think Adam wrote this list.
Yeah, that's
Kurt Cobain.
Not bad. That's
Yeah.
a very, very good guess.
All right,
but
getting
no.
closer to home.
All right, these are the top 10 facts about Bradley Nowell and Sublime.
Close.
Tonight is my Sublime list. Yes,
Awesome.
this is a very niche, very focused list, and it's all about Sublime and or Bradley Nowell, but it is me. I mean, this is really, this is the kind of shit that I would, 3:00 in the morning when you got nothing else to do, you're looking up stuff on YouTube. This is the kind of stuff that I would be looking at. So that's it. And we all know Sublime, right? 40 Ounces to Freedom, Date Rape, What I Got.
I know Sublime. If you had said this is all about Bradley Nowell and then just assumed I'd be like, cool. No idea who that is.
No, that's fair. And that's
But
fair.
I
Bradley
absolutely
Nowell-
know Sublime. I know some of their music.
Yeah.
And I know they're known throughout the white community as a good band to get high to.
Well,
Not-
yeah, I mean, that's fair. They are more so. We'll get into it. They're not just a 420 style band. I mean, they're
No, I
not
know,
just
I know.
that, but
No,
a
they
lot
have
of
some good
reggae
music.
rock is that. So that's what you're going to
They actually have some really, for those looking for easy guitar, maybe kind of just starting guitar, they actually have some really easy guitar songs that you can play. Look them up.
Yeah, one of the funniest ironic lyrics is, I play this guitar like a, what is it, motherfucking riot. I play this guitar.
the guitar
like
like
a
a motherfucking riot. And
riot.
it's one of the easiest guitar riffs.
of all time.
Yeah, it's super easy, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, so yeah, let's go over a little bit of the general things. We're going to get these things out of the way right off the bat, just so everyone knows what we're, because we might have listeners that don't know who Sublime is. So Sublime is a band. Let's just right off the bat, they're a band.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, listener. I
They're-
promise.
They're an American reggae rock and ska punk band founded in '88. So this is their foundation date was earlier than I thought. I thought they were early '90s, but no, 1988. The genre, of course, is reggae rock and ska and punk. Their origination is from Long Beach, California, which comes up quite a bit in this. Just the location, really. The lead singer and guitar is Bradley Nowell. The bass guitar is Eric Wilson. Drums is Bud Gaw. There's musical contributions from two different guys, and you'll hear them referenced even in some of Bradley's lyrics. We're not playing all the songs or anything, but you'll hear it if you listen to the music. That's a guy named Michael or Miguel. God, I'm going to fuck up his last name. Happold, Happoldt. D and T next to each other. And then also Marshall or Ross MG Goodman. They've sold over 17 million albums to date worldwide. So that, and keep in mind, that's from roughly 1996 to now, 17 million. So 17 times platinum, which is really cool. So they released 3 studio albums, 1 live album. I didn't know they actually released this many. 5 compilation albums, 1 which also contains never before released material, 3 EPs, and 1 box set. I didn't know they had released that much because of how quickly the band, I guess, ended. No spoilers there.
Yeah. I'm going to look them up. I'm going to see how much of that is on Spotify.
There's Sublime's.
I mean, there's a lot on here.
Tons of that's on Spotify. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the albums themselves. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good call.
And I noticed that, and I didn't know this. It's another band that I'm familiar with. I know some of their music that is considered ska. It's so weird. Like, I mean, ska is such a weird genre of music because when I think of other really popular ska bands, none of the music sounds anything like the same to me. Like Mighty Mighty Bosstones, that's ska.
Yep.
No Doubt, that's ska. Sublime,
and
that's
a little
ska.
bit of punk, yeah.
And none of that to me sounds similar at all. Yet it's all ska. I've always wondered what exactly is ska. Something about the beat or the instruments used.
You are very much fulfilling. That's that right there. So in the late 80s, early 90s, they had this problem. They had all these types of genre that kind of fit together but didn't, so they called it all alternative.
Yeah, okay.
It all just kind of got grouped into this massive genre called alternative.
I considered alternative more Green Day. What the hell was the one that sounded like Green Day that came out at the same time?
That sounded like Green Day?
Yeah, it kind of sounded a little bit like Green Day. They all had that. There was like 3, Weezer, Green Day, and another band to me all had that same kind of sound, came out at the same time. It's something that starts with an O. Fuck, I can't remember. I'll listen. I'll find it. Offspring, yeah. So
Really?
when I think of alternative, that was what my brain went to. I'm not like
timing wise. Yes, they came up at the same time, but the cadence and the tempos are so different between all 3 of those bands.
It's just weird for a guy who knows like the words to every song he ever heard in his life.
It's true.
I know very little about music categories and shit like that. I just know nothing about it. I never interested myself in that.
Here's how early ska worked. Is that a trumpet? Ska.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
There was trumpet and No Doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No Doubt. Had lots of horns.
They had trombone in there, too.
What kind of music would you consider that had a lot of cowbell? Is that also ska? No.
Saturday Night Live.
So I looked it up on Spotify.
Yeah.
A ton of their old stuff, all the way back to 96, what I got. 91, Jaw Won't Pay the Bills.
Nice.
92, 40 Ounces of Freedom. Like, they have the old Sublime on there. And it, of course, has, 2013, Three Ring Circus was their last, live recording. Of course, I know that didn't have...
It's their last compilation, most likely.
That's the...
Be kind of cool to hear Bradley Nowell recording in 2013.
There was an EP released this year under the Sublime name.
Yeah,
and I don't...
Go ahead.
And I don't want to get ahead because this is...
That's not on the list. You can
okay, it's because this is separate from the actual new music being produced by Sublime with Rome. I'm sorry if that.
Yep.
is
No, that's
ahead of
okay.
you.
That's fine. That part is on the list, but that's not really a big spoiler. Maybe that's kind of known.
That's true. So they put out this the compilation. It's an EP. It's called Rolling Stoned. It's all of their... We talked about how they're not just a weed smoking alternative band, and then this came out this year. I mean, Smoke 2 Joints, Let's Go Get Stoned, Waiting for Bud, Wrong Way, Legalize It, and STP.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Yes, another band right around that same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Stone Temple Pilots was so good, man.
Yeah, isn't that guy dead too?
No. So I don't think he is. He actually was one of those celebrities where everybody had him on the celebrity death polls or pools, and he kept surviving all of his because he does his drugs the right way, no ODing. All right, I forgot his name. All right, Ron's looking up the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots. Here we go, number 10. Now, some of these I titled, some of these are just there's stories and some facts and some stuff tied in. This is basically where it kind of all began for them. Number 10, they played their first show, Independence Day, July 4th, 1988, at Harbor Peninsula. This is in Long Beach. It's a small club in Long Beach, California. and this is in 1988, as legend has it, and this is the first time these guys played together live in front of people at a venue. As legend has it, the performance initiated a small-scale riot, now known as the Peninsula Riot. So I've got some cool quotes and stuff in here, but just to know for the listener, if you're in a band and your band does their first debut, getting applause is you go home on cloud 9. If you caused a fucking riot because your music was that fire, dude, you got something hot. And that's what happened with Sublime. Their very first show caused a riot. Quote, Brad likes riots, recalls Katie Gibson, Nowell's stepsister, while on the back porch of the same house. Continue the quote. When they played that show, kids were totally destroying property, and the cops had to come in and shut the band down, clear the streets, and kick everybody off the peninsula. Bradley just caused chaos wherever he went, says Katie Gibson, stepsister. And then she said it was awesome. So she was giving him kudos. She was like talking him up a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
This Independence Day celebration turned into a melee between partiers and police. A police helicopter and 44 officers were needed to subdue the rowdy crowd of about 400 people at the corner of 62nd Place and Ocean Avenue. I'm assuming that's where the club is, or maybe the streets that the club spills out onto. The partygoers had Roman candles. This is 4th of July, so they had Roman candles and firecrackers and were throwing them at the police. I know that's horrible. That's bad. You don't ever, you don't do that. But you don't usually get that following a performance.
The 90s was fucking weird, man. It was a whole different world.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, you don't want to do that when you're fighting social injustice, but as long as it's your band and they're rocking out, it's all good.
He went there.
Come on, it was like the elephant, not the elephant in the room. It was the low-hanging fruit. Had to be plucked.
You know what else needs to happen to low-hanging fruit? They need to be shaved. Manscaped.com, Twisted 10 promo.
Real quick, Scott Weiland. That's the lead singer.
Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland dead.
He is dead.
Yeah, December 3rd, 2015. I guess it was a drug overdose.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Cocaine.
Oh, that's sad. I did not know that. Number 9. Speaking about dying of OD, Bradley's drug addiction. So again, Bradley Nowell is the lead singer of Sublime. He's also the founder of Sublime. He's the one who really did all their paperwork to get them in corporate, whatever. Long story. It's not unknown that Bradley Nowell had a drug addiction. Maybe to listeners who've never heard of him, it's new, but it's very known in the community and in the industry that he had a very bad problem with drugs. His weapon of choice, heroin. Bradley's addiction was so bad, he had track marks up and down his arms, which was his inspiring reason to get tats going all the way up his arm. It was just to cover the scars.
Tracks.
Yeah. Now he did have some cool ink, but it was his purpose to have that done was to cover up his tracks on his arms. By the way, the references here are Songfacts, Wikipedia, and Wiretelegram.
Is that where the expression "cover your tracks" comes from? Oh God!
Don't do drugs, kids.
No couth. I have no couth.
No couth at all. All right, number 8. This number 9 was just a short one, just talking about the tracks in his arms.
I can actually expand on number 9 a little bit.
Yeah.
What actually did him in that day? It was heroin. He did overdose, but it was he had found or had gotten access to a new dealer, I guess, and he went from talking about Southern California here. He went from just cheap Mexican black tar heroin to high quality, refined, better heroin.
Was it Eric Stoltz in Pulp Fiction? Is he? Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, so he was doing his normal amount, and it caused him to overdose. Which I guess I can share another heroin overdose fact if you want an interesting one.
Sure.
People die from heroin because they try to stop. Heroin won't. If you
can't overdose on it, but it's
what's the right way to put this? If you were to use it fresh and kind of ramp up your use, it's a problem. It has issues, but it won't kill you. Heroin. Actually, I'm not even going to say the rest of that. But what ends up happening?
I know what you were going to say. You were going to say
Yeah.
heroin used in proper doses causes no damage to your liver or your kidneys, which is true.
It's a true fact. It's just I felt bad before it came out.
We don't condone it.
We don't condone it, but it is right. Yeah. So it's So what ends up happening is people will build up and they'll hit a point where they're like, all right, they try to quit or they stop or they go dry for a little bit, whatever. Something happens and they stop taking as much heroin as they were, injecting as much, whatever. And then they go back to what their tolerance was, what it used to be before and
their body just says, fuck
yep, this
you.
sucks, shuts off.
Yeah. You can OD on heroin too, though. So that's the other, you can basically stop your heart. It's just too much. It fills your system up. And I think that's what happened to him that night. But anyway, all right, let's move on. Number 8, the last show. So we're jumping from the beginning, 1988, to the very last show they ever performed was in May of 1996 at the Petaluma in Petaluma, California. I'm going to play a little bit of that in the background right here. This is actually pretty rare audio, but I am going to talk over it so it doesn't get completely ripped out of the show. Let's see. The only footage that is shareable currently can be found on YouTube. So if you do a search for Sublime 1996 Petaluma, that's Petaluma, California, you'll find what we're watching here in the studio right now. Most of the material, though, from that show, for whatever reason, has been taken down. There's no rumors or anything about it being nefarious or being, bad video.
It's
or
a government conspiracy.
Well, yeah, but that was the very, very last show that Sublime ever performed together. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit on this just to get some
It's
music.
so rare you have to go all the way to YouTube to find it.
Well, they had all been pulled down. All the other YouTubes.
I thought you found it on LimeWire.
It was on Kazaa.
Kazaa was on Napster.
You can hear him in the background. And this is like a whole old crappy 1996 digital camera.
That sounds more like reggae. Like as I hear it and I wouldn't have known it's Sublime, it sounds a little bit more like reggae to me.
It's an interesting bonus fact I'm going to share with you later in the story about that. Anyway, this performance this is a little bit sad here, so forgive me. This performance came 7 days after Bradley married his wife, Troy Dendecker. They had an 11-month-old son. 12 hours after the audio you hear right now, Bradley was found dead. It was a heroin overdose that got him. But this is very, very cool because it was the last actual recorded audio and video of him before he took his life. I say took his life before he had an accident.
It amazes me how these performers, not just him, but so many, are performing night in and night out with these schedules. Just many of them just continuously high, nonstop, all the time, on drugs, alcohol. I mean, I drink 3 fingers of bourbon and I'm a fucking useless by the after show. It just amazes me that these people can perform so well. I don't know.
I concur. Yeah,
I don't know how
there
they
is
do
something
it.
different though about Sublime performing live back then and the Sublime that we know of today. So this is all before they made it big. Like they were getting recognized by locals in Long Beach area, but they weren't like nationally or internationally touring artists. They were not that. They were like affording their rent kind of celebrities. They weren't living the life yet. I mean, the drug addiction doesn't, I guess you can be poor and still have a drug addiction. Not saying he was poor, but just saying you don't have to be that big giant celebrity to have that money. They weren't doing those tours. He was, and I'll get to that too. They weren't gigging all over the place. They didn't have a bunch of shows. Gigging is a term used for if you get a gig, like a performance.
No,
somewhere.
I gotcha. Yeah.
All right, number 7. Sublime was becoming infamous for the crowds they would pull into the venue, as well as the chaos that usually ensued. Because of this, Sublime, or Bradley, was having trouble booking gigs. Ding, ironic timing for the next number. He actually formed the record label called Skunk Records so he could call venues and tell them he was a performing artist from Skunk Records, hoping it would sway their decision to let him in. Like, oh, this guy signed. Well, it worked. Ironically, it was like guerrilla marketing right there. It worked, and he was able to book more gigs because of his newly founded Skunk Records.
That he created.
Now, the other ironic part about that is Skunk Records was actually released 2 or 3 of their albums, their first albums out there, is released by Skunk Records. So it was a legitimate company. It wasn't like a bogus name he just made up to get inside venues. So it's kind of cool. It's a neat little nostalgia piece.
Skunk Records. So I wonder if his family has that now. I know they've held on to a lot of
They later
his
signed with a big record label, because that was big back in the 90s. Now you could just have a YouTube channel and have 400 million views, but back then there wasn't a real good outlet for.
No, you
artists.
had to get signed.
Yeah, you had to.
You
had to
didn't
get
even.
signed.
You couldn't even go on like a contest show like American Idol or. I mean, I know bands don't go on American Idol, but you're not going to get. You're not going to get discovered on the X Factor. What's the American
AGT.
one?
What was it back then, though? There was something.
America's Got Talent.
Oh no, you're right.
That.
There was something.
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. That's right.
What was it? What was the show?
Star Search.
Star Search.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that's definitely that definitely gets that.
Star Search. That was like in the 90s, early 90s.
Star Search was the shit though.
Yes.
That was
But
American
you didn't
Idol.
really have much of that. So to get and no one on Star Search, I think. Well, I won't say no one because I'm sure maybe somebody famous came from that. Actually, made it big because they were on that show. That was just a glorified talent show.
I pulled up the Wikipedia page on Skunk Records. It's still operating.
Really?
Yeah. So founded in 1990. Miguel Happold and Bradley Nowell, of course.
Miguel, and I breezed over Miguel just to touch on him. He managed the band at the beginning, also offered a bunch of additional assistance, and the other partner that contributed on music was Ross MG that you've heard about in here as well. But yeah, Miguel was way more involved in the band than I gave him credit for during this, because everybody knows Bradley, Eric, and Bud. That's who everybody knows are the three guys.
So it also, it operates a subsidiary called Cornerstone, RAS. I don't know what this stands for. It's not a link. The record label originally produced records for Sublime and the Ziggins. Now, if he's friends with them, I'm going to check that out because I've never heard that band. But the label also produces records for Long Beach Dub All-Stars. This is current. They're good. Long Beach Short Bus and Burn Unit. In 2009,
Short Bus.
Long Beach Short Bus. Yeah, that was
awesome.
That was part of Eric's post Sublime era. He formed Long Beach Dub All Stars and Long Beach Short Bus as well. It's really cool.
That's cool. And then Oh, they're alive because Suburban Noise bought them and their catalog for an undisclosed sum.
$1 million.
Man, there's actually. I mean, I'm showing these guys the list, but there's like a huge list of music that's cool. That's been released under
Skunk Records.
Yeah,
nice.
No idea. And there's
like you, Bradley,
like Mystic Roots Band. I don't know if you know them.
I'm sure he's very excited about it.
Mystic Roots. We heard them last week. The Mountain Dew guys.
That's awesome.
Oh, who was that? Stanley Brothers. That's who it was.
Oh, fucking great song. That song was way harder to marry up in post-production. This is a little behind the scenes smoke and mirrors. So it's way easier to do our show now because of this new Rode mixer. Thanks again to Clayton Thing.
You're the best.
I was thinking...
Adam remembers you, I promise.
No, I fuck you, Josh. No, I was thinking T, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, I had to marry that song up because that was our out and into break song. And the fucking banjo picking in there was so fast. Like, motherfuck, slided a little bit too far. You'd have no forgiveness with a banjo prick, I guess. Whatever, strum, what is it called, a strum?
Pick.
Whatever.
It would be a strum or a pick.
It'd be a pick, I think, yeah. You have no forgiveness with that because it's so
Speaking of prick,
so precise.
Shave your balls. Promo code Twisted10. Sorry.
I like it.
Oh,
all right.
Jesus.
Number 6.
But I would say nothing beats this, because we seem like we're playing a lot of songs lately on the show, but nothing beats the Star Trek theme song with the words.
That was so bad.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to read from the Corn.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, number 6. Everybody loves Lou Dog. In February 1990, Nowell purchased a Dalmatian puppy from an old man for $500 and named him Louie after his grandfather. Lou Dog was the unofficial mascot for the band. He was a Dalmatian and could even be seen roaming the stages during most all of their live shows, which is kind of cool. Just
isn't he on one of the CD?
Oh yeah, he's all over. Yeah, he's all
Huh.
over. He's on the CD cover for 40 Ounces to Freedom. I think he's even in some of the artwork that Miguel also drew for a couple of those as well. So yeah, he's all over. Bradley, I think, had a tattoo of Lou Dog as well. Anyway, Louis was often featured. Louis was also often featured on the cover of Sublime albums and was referred to in the lyrics of multiple Sublime songs. In Sublime's most successful radio track, "What I Got," Nowell sings, "Living with Louis Dog's the only way to stay sane." Lou Dog lived until 2001. For a Dalmatian, That's a very healthy life from
It is.
1990 to 2001. That's a pretty good life for a Dalmatian. All right, so that's going to take us into the break. But I got something special for you guys to listen to during the break today. What am I looking at? Merch. Yeah, good call. Thanks. Josh handed me our.
That's what the big print idiot list is for.
When we're redoing the studio, we're going to have our TVs put up in here so we can have our list of, hey, old guys, don't forget to say this kind of shit right up on the wall. My son came down here just before our show, and he actually commented how much he liked the mug, by the way, the Twisted Tin mug.
Yeah, that's like, it's really nice. Really, that logo really plays well on that mug for sure.
Yeah, we got the inside being I don't know. I like it. I was actually really excited when I found that.
I'm stoked.
And I put that together. Tell him I have a place that he can go.
Tell him. Oh, Josh?
Yeah.
My son? Yeah. If he is going to go buy something from our shop, by the way.
Oh, cool.
twistedtin.com, and there's a merch button. Just click on the merch button. You can see we've got some shirts in there. And Josh finally put up, Ron, for you and me, the Fat Man non-V-necks Twisted
The crew
Tins.
neck?
Yeah,
Okay.
the crew neck.
Put some crew necks up for you.
I need to go up
You guys
there.
are the only ones who asked, though. Tall Trey asked
I
for
need
one
to
as
get
well.
Did he? Okay.
2 extra larges so I can sew them together.
But there's a couple things up there that are pretty cool. I got the shirt. I'm ordering the little duffel bag. I think that thing looks pretty cool.
I'm so excited.
That's a pricey one, though, for that. But I guess it's not for what it is. But
Boy, you really know how to sell it to the listeners. It's kind of a ripoff, but
shave your balls,
we're going to
Ron.
get it anyway.
No, he's right. It's $60, but it's like a really nice like canvas strap. Like,
Holy shit, it's
like-
$60? Okay, now I'm not doing a good job of selling it.
All right, so we're going to go to the break. I got something special. So typically we would play True Phonic here in the break, but I'm going to change it up. Josh changed it up last week, got me excited. I wanted to change it up this week as well. Taking us into the break, you're going to hear Jacob Nowell. I don't know if you remember when I told earlier when Bradley died, he had an 11-month-old son. Well, that 11-month-old son is now 27. So he is Bradley Nowell's son. And this is courtesy of the Long Way Back film from YouTube. But this is Jacob Nowell, Bradley Nowell's actual son. Musically talented, and you'll hear a little bit of it. Yeah, let me just shut up and play it.
There's a steel train coming home. I would take it if I could, and I would not lie to you because Sunday morning soon will come when things would be much easier to say upon the microphone like a boss DJ, but I don't walk up upon the sea like it was dry land. The boss DJ ain't nothing but a man, no trouble, no fuss. I know why. It's so nice, wanna hear the same song twice. Ooh, it's so nice, I wanna hear the same song twice. Tunes are running all over town, well it's just stones and sticks on the microphones where I go to get my fix. Just let the loving take a hold, oh it will if you let it on. Funky, not a junkie, but I know where to get it. No trouble, no fuss, I know why. It's so nice, I wanna hear the same song twice. Ooh, it's so nice, I let it down so good I hear the same song twice. Ooh, wee girl, ooh, wee girl, ooh, wee girl, ooh, wee girl. And there's really no time to waste, really no time to pay. We ain't got no time to waste, time to hate. Loving takes a hold and make the time go fast. So Mr. DJ, don't stop, I wanna know, are you feeling the same way too? Wanna rock it with you, girl, you girl, you girl, you girl.
What is your finger up in the air supposed to signify, Adam?
I said we were recording now, not to talk over the music, because I'm fading it back in to the second half of the second half of the show. What the fuck, Rob?
Just keep it all in. It's fine. I'm an asshole tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight?
Josh is starting to point it out that apparently my Maltese, as in, everything has to be abbreviated now. He can't just say multivitamin. So I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. I don't know if he's saying I need to take one or I took one and now I'm an asshole. I'm not exactly sure what you're inferring.
Well,
anyway, that was Jacob Nowell, Bradley Nowell's son from Sublime. That's courtesy of the Long Way Back film on YouTube. If I can remember, I'll drop the link into the show notes as well, so you can find it there. Just do a YouTube search or a Google search for Jacob, Jakob, and then Nowell is Nowell, and you hear a lot of good stuff from him.
And his band. We also
Law, LAW.
Yeah, did you say? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, so that's what it is currently. There's been multiple projects he's worked on, so it's kind of hard to cite a specific band. He's had a bunch of different things that he's done. But fuck, dude, that voice. So we listened during the break, a little bit of Smoke and Mirrors. During the break, we were hanging out with the folks in Discord and listening to just some other random songs by Jacob, by Bradley Nowell's son. Dude, the voice. I mean,
it was him.
To me, it is.
Holy shit!
It's eerily similar. The same type of cadence, the same type of projection of voice. The same, like when he does the quick riffs, when he adds words together quickly. I don't know what that's actually called, but the flow of his words and his verbiage is fucking spot on to his dad's. It's so cool.
It's kind of interesting. His grandfather, Bradley Nowell's dad, must talk in the exact same way because, as sad as it is, Jacob never knew his dad, so he wouldn't have picked that up.
Yeah, that's true.
From him.
I didn't get too much in this list on the personal drama, but if you're a Sublime fan or a Bradley Nowell fan, you probably have seen some of the interviews and heard some of the backstory. But Bradley had a pretty rough life. He didn't grow up, very privileged. There was a lot of verbal abuse in the household from his mom and dad, I guess. And when he was only 11, they got a divorce. He lived with his mother for a couple of years, and then she kicked him out, so he went to live with his dad for a while longer. So, but it wasn't anything that was, he loved his parents, from what I could gather by his interviews, but it wasn't like it wasn't a very prideful part of his life. That was just this is how I grew up. Like me or take me or not, but this is my life. This is what I came from. But yeah, that's the weirdest part to me. Worldwide phenomenon, and I almost want to say that Sublime's music was industry shaping for the influence that it had, especially after Bradley died, because of how popular that band is now, or even up all throughout the last 30 years. But he never experienced that. He never got that big fame that came with the stardom that these people get. Anybody who hits it big has 17 million albums sold. You've got a level of celebrity that Bradley unfortunately just never got to experience. Locally, in Long Beach, he was loved in the surrounding areas, but not internationally known. He wasn't that famous yet.
That it's kind of interesting. In the world of painting, they have a term for a living master, because most master painters, the big names that you would know, the Rembrandts, whatever, from history, they were never masters in their time. It was all after their passing in almost every
that makes sense. Clay, so a friend of ours on another podcast, his name is Clay Groves. He told me a story very similar to the painters. In his industry is fishing, so there's these people who set lines correctly, and they're called masturbators, and they're very similar. All right, I'll stop there. All right, let's recap 10 through 6 for everybody, just to recap what we had. So number 10 was the first show debuted that turned into a riot. Always good for a band. Talking about Bradley's drug addiction a little bit in number 9. Their last show performed was number 8, which that's the little heart pulling on the heartstrings for me a little bit, because he just recently got married and they have an 11-month-old son, and that last performance was 12 hours before he passed. So it's kind of eerie. Number 7 was regarding Sublime became infamous for the crowds they pull. Setting up ska, the Skunk Records. I'm just call it Ska Records. Skunk Records was number 7. Number 6 was Lou Dog, who's the famous Dalmatian of Sublime. All right, that takes us to number 5. Number 5 is straight up care of Rolling Stone magazine because it kind of defines what Sublime was during that era. So in the 90s, kind of talks to what Sublime is. Sublime, and this is again, this is literally reading from Rolling Stone. Can't really paraphrase this too much. Sublime was a party band. They played house parties, beach parties, frat parties, and if there wasn't a party, they brought it with them. They were lovable, but they were also out of control. They loved to get fucked up. They loved to fuck things up, and they had many ways of doing it. Sometimes Nowell hooked the band's instruments up before a gig in order to pay for his habit. So he would earn a little bit of extra money, not having to pay the roadie, and take that money and go spend it on heroin. Other times the band would party too much on the day of a major gig and squander a golden opportunity. And a couple of examples of that. June 17th, 1995, Sublime was invited to play the KROQ Weenie Roast in Los Angeles alongside, 2 other bands you might have heard of, Bush and Hole. But don't put them together, so it's just a bad situation. But no, Bush and Hole, fucking giants.
Speaking of Bush, use the promo code Twisted10.
On manscaped.com.
Manscaped.com.
Fuck yeah. Speaking of Bush and Hole. I mean, really,
Yeah.
shave the rest of it too.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Is there a womanscape?
No, that's their competitor.
Oh,
they're
sorry,
rivals.
my
they
bad.
throw shit across the street at each other.
Damn,
Anyway.
we just lost that sponsor.
We didn't even have him yet, Ron. You already blew it.
Yeah, you knew I'd be the one to fuck it up.
And this is the time they have nothing more than a couple of indie albums and a hot local single called Date Rape. They printed up 40 backstage passes for their friends, family, and their dogs. By the end of the day, Nowell's beloved Dalmatian Lou had bitten a record exec's little girl, and one of their pals that got backstage with him barely missed puking on MTV's Kennedy. That may be an older reference for some people, but that was a very famous VJ that they called back then. While she was interviewing the band. So it turned out pretty bad for them. And these are huge milestone steps for them. If you're in the same breath as Hole and Bush, God damn it, that's hard not to carry through with.
Giggity.
You get it. Also in September 1997, Eric Wilson and Bud Gaw, Sublime's bassist and drummer, flew to New York for the MTV Video Music Awards. The band had been nominated for Best Alternative Video. The duo had been drinking for most of the evening, and by the time their category comes up, Gaw is melted into his seat, and Wilson is at the bar sucking down another vodka tonic. So I mean, look, they're partiers. They're true to their nature. That's what they do. So thank you, Rolling Stone, for that awesome clip out of your massive Sublime coverage. I didn't cite them at the beginning, but yeah, Rolling Stone had some influence on this list as well.
They were real rock stars.
Yeah, they were hardcore. Yeah. All right, number 4. I named this one. Now, I didn't name all of these, but this one's called Covert Operations. Sublime recorded the debut album 40 Ounces to Freedom at Cal State University for free. Not because they were allowed to, though. They snuck into the campus at night, hiding from security guards, literally ditching and diving to get away from the security guards, recorded their music on the campus's equipment, and left before the morning staff would arrive. They did this for multiple weeks until their album was ready. That's
amazing.
Fucking, like, hardcore, fuck the system. That's like gangster, sort of. That's like musical
Gangster ska.
Gangster ska, yes.
We're going to be famous, guys, and we're going to have to break all these laws to do it. Are you in?
I'm going to throw you a little bit of an in. I saved 2 things for the end, but it fits in here. So Cal State's kind of important here. This is bonus trivia about Bradley Nowell. Bradley actually dropped out of Cal State 1 semester before finishing his bachelor's degree. He's seeking a bachelor's degree in finance. He dropped out to form the band Sublime. Isn't that amazing?
He found a better finance option.
Say that again?
He found a much better finance option.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Well, that's true. Yeah. All right, number 3. So this one, I'm actually going to correct myself from past podcasts. Because doing this deep dive research into Bradley Nowell and into Sublime, I learned something that I'd always said, repeated it because I heard it somewhere before, and it's complete bullshit. Has to do with Gwen Stefani. So Gwen Stefani, I'm going to play a little bit of it here in just a second, but Gwen Stefani and Bradley Nowell were close friends. She formed the band No Doubt, and Bradley formed the band Sublime. Despite their growing popularity in Southern California, Sublime still, and this is in 1995, Sublime still was not signed with a major label other than their Skunk Records. Around this time, Nowell teamed up with longtime friend Gwen Stefani of No Doubt to record the song Saw Red. The song was eventually released on Sublime's Robin the Hood album, which was self-recorded on a 4-track cassette and released in October of 1994. Cassettes. You got to love that. Now, I'd always said that Gwen Stefani was an unknown, was somebody that Sublime's Bradley Nowell discovered, brought her up on stage in a couple of the places in 1992 and 94 with him to perform, and wrote this song with her. Well, it's not quite that historic of a monumental thing. They were very good friends, and both of them achieved some levels of success at different times, but they did write the song and sing it together. So I'll play a little bit of that for you right now after Google's ad is done.
Such a good song, though.
So this is Saw Red. This is in Las Vegas in 1995. Sorry about the poor audio quality, but I mean, was 1995.
That was 26 years ago.
Yeah. So what's happening is on stage, this is being filmed on a fucking on the shoulder camcorder or something. Yeah, yeah.
That now is powered by a potato.
You got Bradley Nowell on stage with Sublime. You see Bud in the background, and you see this girl walk up on stage, this blonde, cute girl that we now recognize, but she's in mom high jeans or pants, and yeah, there you go. So that's
90s.
Bradley. Yeah, it's very 90s. That's her. It's hard to hear. That's Gwen Stefani. I won't play too much of that audio because it is kind of hard to hear.
It's a tough one, but
yeah, I had always said that and it's because, and I found the article that debunked what I'd always said, is that Bradley Nowell discovered Gwen Stefani, brought her up on stage, and then guess what? She turned into the Gwen Stefani of No Doubt. It's actually kind of happened that way, but not exactly.
It's really cool though, because I always knew that as that was a fact to me as well. I don't know if I heard that from you over the years, but I can blame Adam. Yeah, Adam, what the fuck?
Just blame me. I'll take it. All right, number 2. Sublime's final album was released July 30th, 1996, and its original title, Killing It, was replaced by the... Pardon me, I'm going to start that one over. I need a sip. I'm going to have to edit that part out of the show. I can quit anytime.
Just take your Zyrtec.
Yeah, forgot it today. Number 2. Sublime's final album was released on July 30th, 1996, and its original title, Killing It, was replaced by the, I don't know this word, EPONYMOUS, eponymous title, Sublime. By 1997, the album entered the Billboard's top 20 with the largely acoustic single What I Got becoming the number 1 song on the modern rock chart. The album produced 3 more radio hits, Santeria, Wrong Way, and Doin' Time, all of which I know every fucking word to. The accompanying music for the videos for Santeria and What I Got and Wrong Way received heavy rotation on MTV, which previously filmed footage of Nowell performing live intercut into the video. The footage which was used came mostly from shows in 1996. Sublime became one of the most successful American rock acts of 1997. Rolling Stone reported in March 2010 that the album Sublime had sold over 6 million copies. And of course, we're way past that now. But
would you say 17 million?
17 million, yeah, worldwide. And that was 2019 numbers, so you can add on probably a couple million more at this point. But, oh, by the way, Josh, in the middle of that, in the middle of number 2, I kind of threw a reference to something called MTV. MTV used to be a show that would play music videos.
Channel?
A channel, thank you. They used to play music videos. No? Okay.
You know, I was...
Appropriate timed.
Jokes aside, I was really bummed because I grew up during its transition into the garbage that it is now. And it was like MTV was music videos when I was a kid, but then it became MTV2. And then it became a spot on MTV2, and then it became like midnight to 4 a.m. And then they were just like, TikTok celebrities can just come hang out in this house.
Yeah. So YouTube has done good things for the industry, but I mean, it's really, I don't know. It's shaped the way that people absorb their music. MTV used to be the single place, the most popular place that used to be your crowning gem as a musician. Generalistically speaking, of course, to become famous enough to get on the rotation of MTV. That used to be like an amazing achievement. Just
fucking
to be on
made
that.
it. That was the
Now it's
and people would like
how many views you got on your YouTube channel. I mean, that's what's really leveling off those. Now.
And you would mark your calendar and gather around the TV together to watch like Michael Jackson's newest premiere video because you knew it was going to be so badass.
I used to get, as a teenager, I used to get so excited when the premiere would come because they would
premiere
play
video was always
they would play a splash like an intro of MTV premiere like. Brand new, first time ever seen premiere thing. I was like, fuck yeah, this is cool. I mean,
there's in a channel guide. You remember that little 4-inch by 6-inch book?
Yeah.
I mean, there was videos that where the song was good, yes, but the video was so badass that it like made the song even more popular.
Oh yeah. Aerosmith's, multiple Aerosmith songs, but the one "Living on the Edge," where it's the girl from she was in Crush. She was in
Alicia Silverstone.
Yes, she was a schoolgirl in that video, and that was about my teenage years that were perfectly timed to match up with that. Not sounding like an old creepy guy pervo now, but we'll throw it out there anyway.
Another one too. I know you're going to the rest of your list, but Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. That video was like the #1 video that year, and yes, the song was really good. And very popular, but the video was even. I mean, videos don't really launch.
Go crazy about a sharp dressed man.
No. I wanna be.
Oh yeah,
your sledgehammer. That song was hugely popular, but the video made it even more so. That whole thing is now gone from music, in my opinion.
Still get cameos that are good on YouTube, like artists that have a celebrity cameo in their YouTube videos, which is
I don't even.
Cool,
you know what? When I watch for music, I don't even watch I always watch the lyrics version because I just want to hear the song. I don't want to. I don't want the song to be interrupted. I don't want to be talked over because of something they're doing in the video or
our friend,
something like that. I literally just. I listen for I just don't like music videos. I don't anymore.
There's one thing that I love about modern media consumption, though, and this is general. This is beyond YouTube. This is even like Spotify's whatever. The barrier between consumer and content creator is basically gone. So if I want to go watch a 95-year-old dude snort like hot chili peppers, I can go watch that exact thing, and I don't have to wait until 6:00 next Thursday because the cable company said that's when I'm allowed. You know what I mean? It's not that was a problem. Cable was was innovative, is awesome, but we it's so much better now.
On demand, that's the key. Instant
and
on demand.
Our society is on demand now.
Yes.
Everything, groceries, your dinner. Yep. Music, whatever you want.
Dude,
all of it's on demand.
We get that new Amazon warehouse. We're going to be in one of the 2-hour
drone
delivery
locations.
I don't think we're going to be a drone location, but we're going to.
That'd be awesome.
Seriously, it's opening in like 2 years. We'll have 2-hour, or 1 year. We'll have 2-hour delivery from Amazon.
Number 1. What is Sublime doing now? So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. I'm going to go a little bit about the history of what happened after Bradley died. So, of course, that brought Sublime to a screeching halt. When your lead man and founder of your band, and literally founder of your companies, dies, it kind of puts the brakes on the show. So, the surviving 2 members of Sublime, Bud and Eric, started Long Beach Dub All-Stars that lasted until about 2002. If they're releasing new stuff, I didn't know about it for this particular article, but they ended that Long Beach Dub All-Stars in 2002, and I've listened to it's very similar style music to Sublime, so you got that reggae rock, a little bit of punk, and a little bit of ska in there, so it's very similar. After that, Wilson went on to form Long Beach Short Bus, while Gaw went on to form Eyes Adrift and Volcano. In February of 2009, Bud and Eric reunited for a show in Nevada called themselves Sublime. They were joined by a new guitar and vocalist whose identity was kept secret until March 1st, 2009, basically at their performance. Rome Ramirez, then only 20, was announced as the band's new lead vocalist. After a little bit of litigation, it was decided that the intellectual property belonging to the name, quote, Sublime, unquote, was going to remain with its founders, with a family of its founder, which is Bradley Nowell's family. And the band would tour and record from that point forward as Sublime with Rome. So you can still hear the same type. I don't say exactly the same type. It is different. Rome Ramirez's voice is remarkably similar to Bradley. So you're going to get a very similar sound on the songs that you know and love. Josh, Josh is having his own show over there. I don't know if our mics actually picked it up, but his phone just started playing music.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Spotify was freaking out and it was playing some Long Beach Dub All Stars.
Oh, it must have listened to our conversations.
That's weird.
Yes.
That's weird.
Rome Ramirez continues to show his respect for the music that Bradley and the other members of Sublime created, and at every single show he throws some love back towards Bradley Nowell and towards that family. So there's no like issues, or I mean, there's of course a little bit of drama because litigation had to get involved, but you know, that's kind of at this point everybody understands the reasons why. And I don't think there's any love lost there at all. I think that everybody understands what's happening. So
just kind of had attorneys interpret the wills, what they came down to. Like, all right, where does it land?
Yeah, but, and you've got. I mean, you don't, not to knock on the other guys the other guys that were part of the original band of Sublime, but I mean, they're partiers. Look, man, they're not lawyers. They're not, you know, they're going to play. At this point, they're ready to go out and just start touring again. Hey, man, fuck it. Let's get the band back together. We're going out as Sublime. We got a replacement lead, but we're going to go out and do it as Sublime. Yeah, well, technically, you kind of can't do that just based on how.
Is it true, and I had heard this specifically about Sublime, again, I don't know a lot, that in the early days of YouTube, that the new lead singer Rome was discovered because he was covering Sublime songs on YouTube, and the algorithm picked it up.
I've even talked about that in the
He
past.
was so close, the algorithm actually picked it up as him. He was playing Sublime music on his channel and had to be shut down.
I've talked about
and
that
that's how
before.
it was discovered. Is that true, or just like
I wanted
one
to
of those
debunk two things
old
tonight.
wives' tales?
I wanted to debunk two things because I had read conflicting reports. One of them was the Bradley Nowell discovering Gwen Stefani story that I've reciprocated and told myself. The other was this one where the discovery of Rome Ramirez. I found all the evidence I needed for Gwen Stefani. I couldn't find the evidence I needed for that one. Otherwise, I would have added that in there at the end, especially on number one.
So you're just not sure if that's true or not?
Yeah, it's definitely a story that's out there, but there's no substantiating facts on either direction of that. Now, the only timeline of events was that I could find locked down was when at 19, I think. No, he was 18 when he actually met Bud Gaw. He went, like, Rome Ramirez was introduced to the band at a certain point. Now, what led from this dude that plays, you know, awesome riffs in his garage to meeting fucking Sublime? How did that whole process happen? I don't know. There was no substantiating evidence I could find.
He was
on that.
in their concert, the very front row, singing the songs, just like the movie Rockstar.
No, when they gave him the mic and he just nailed it.
Mark Wahlberg. Yes, exactly.
Marky Mark. Another bonus trivia about Bradley Nowell. When Nowell was 11 years old, he went to the Virgin Islands with his dad. This is when he was introduced to reggae, which obviously has influenced his music development throughout his adult life.
Man, it must have been hard to get island reggae in California in the early 90s.
Reggae rock was such a different genre to introduce in
UB40?
He was in Long Beach, so...
Yeah, Long Beach is interesting. I might be going to California here soon, by the way. Get to go.
I mean, UB40 is considered reggae, right?
Yeah, that's reggae, though. Yeah. I don't think that would be considered the reggae rock blended with ska and punk.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're
it's
reggae.
like mainstream at the time.
Red, white.
Yeah. God, that song was so played out.
I remember
that was like so
local
played
radio
out.
station here in Melbourne, Florida, had a contest that they would run. And you had to, and I'm sure every fucking radio station around the U.S. did this, but listen to the Red, Red Wine song, and the person who guesses the correct, and this is before the days of the internet where you could find it really quickly. Whoever guesses the correct number of how many times they say the word red wine in the song wins a fucking prize pack or some stupid shit. I tried. I didn't get it right.
Dude, my sister and my mom used to do radio trivia all the time. They're amazing at like
Really?
concert tickets, Disney tickets. Like they used to win shit all the time off the radio. I don't know how they did it. I mean, I don't know anybody else who has ever won as many prizes as those two.
I got to meet Timothy V, old school local celebrity on radio.
That's
cool.
fucking wiener, dude.
What?
That guy is Timmy V.
Well, he's a radio personality, man. You tell me a radio personality or a podcast personality that isn't a little bit crazy in the head.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, there we go. Enough said. So that's a top 10 list on facts about Bradley Nowell and the band Sublime. Yes, I deep dove a topic. I went way down the rabbit hole and disproved one of the stories I had been telling for years and years and years. So, yes.
Well, that was cool. You have been talking about this list for a long time. And it's even with as long as you have been dumping Sublime knowledge on me, there was still things in there that I didn't know. That's cool.
I learned a couple of things. I did not know that they broke into Caltech to record 40 Ounces to Freedom. That's as punk as it fucking gets when you're breaking into a college to do your recording for your album. That's fucking cool.
Are you sure that's a real story or not just another? They discovered Gwen Stefani and the new lead singer on YouTube.
Everything I read tonight is confirmed to the point of my sources.
Oh, okay.
So I'll leave you there. I'll leave
Roger that.
Josh, you're the business
You're
department.
the sources being the internet.
Is that enough? Is that enough liability coverage for us in that statement?
I think we gave everybody enough credit that we don't have to worry about it.
Josh is more sweating that they're going to get sued about playing the kids' song, but we'll see.
But I'm not. No,
our downloads of the podcast will probably get more plays than he got on his YouTube channel.
97,000 views on that. So
that
we don't have 97,000 listeners.
Yeah, you might catch up with us.
We're about 10 shy, but we'll get there.
Almost there.
Oh, well, very cool.
Yeah.
Hear ye. Thank you, Council, for hanging out in Discord with us tonight, and thank you guys for your support.
Yeah, you guys rock.
We appreciate that very, very much.
If you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed the show, we got cool new swag now. Go check that out.
Yeah.
Twist10.com, shirts, bags, hats, a cup.
Crew and V-neck, sure.
I don't know. We got some cool stuff. I don't know. We can put a ton of shit out there. So if there's anything cool that you'd like, let us know. I will absolutely put our logo on it and get it to you at price.
Hop into Discord and just drop it in there. Just in the lobby of our Discord server, just say, hey, I'll buy a fucking woman's thong if it's there. We'll make it be there. It'll
Where
be
are we
going to
put the logo? Like on the crotch area?
The only spot of a proper thong with enough material for a logo.
I think it just should have like TTT.
Just the tag on the tag on the back.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
And Ron said he would pay for it if you sent him a picture of you in it. Guy, girl, doesn't matter.
I did not say
He's not prejudiced. So take. No, you didn't.
No,
I got it recorded.
I did not say that.
We'll go back to the recording.
Do you guys remember the old bit in Living Podcariously, the newsflash?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hit a message in the old show for an old segment, and a friend of the show. So the message was SOS for send nudes, and we got so many dick pics.
What Josh is referring to is for his bit for the news flash.
Awesome.
We had an intro song that played the beeping sound, but it was actually a Morse code message.
Yeah,
and Josh got to pick it, and then we would set the tone to match it, whatever message it was.
That's a remorse code right there. Jesus.
That's the joke of the night right there.
There
Ron.
you go.
That was good. That doesn't get an old man sound effect over here.
No. It was a modern joke.
But it will get this.
Would you like a black and mild?
Yes.
All right. What else? Where do we want to send our listeners?
Where do they send dick pics? To Josh?
Yeah, just to Ron at twisted10.com.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
where all the dick pics go.
Send them. Just no viruses.
Oh my God.
And by viruses, I mean no.
Is that even actual email? Do I have a Ron at Twisted 10? I thought we only had set up the one.
Yes, that will work. It will work. It will get to us.
I will. Okay.
Wait, it'll get to all of us? No, we gotta separate that. I don't want to see it.
We have one inbox. Is how it works, and you can email Ron at Twisted or Adam.
So
or
put
Josh.
dicks in the box. Perfect.
Put my dick in the box.
Just put it in the subject line, so Ron knows which one
DP
is for him.
Speaking of dicks, we need to throw our love to our new potential sponsor coming on board for the Twisted 10, Manscaped. So go over to manscaped.com. That's only one P.
We're trying them out for a month, see if we want them. Oh, is that not how the trial works?
Just good enough. Use a promo code TWISTED10, all one word, all caps, And
the word
20%
10
off.
spelled out, not the number.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever specified that.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, Twisted 10
spelled out-
TEN.
spelled out.
Not 10.
Your balls will thank you. I love that slogan.
And your wife.
Your balls will thank you.
Balls will
Yeah,
thank
we're
you.
gonna have fun with that. That's gonna be,
Or
I think,
husband.
a lot of fun.
We are,
Or
and
husband.
the next time we
Fun sponsor for
record,
us.
we will have our kit from them. So actually,
We are
we're gonna-
going to shave balls live on
Live
air,
on
streaming on
air.
Twitch.
It's a quick show, so can do mine. Be here all night.
Oh goodness! All right, well, cool. You guys ready to get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right. On behalf of the Twisted 10, I want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with us tonight. I'm Adam.
Ron?
And I'm Josh.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Shave your balls! Manscaped.com, promo code Twisted10.